The snow fell thick that December evening as Marcus Kane stood outside the small weather house at the edge of town. In his hands, he held a large red box wrapped with silver bough. Behind the frosted window, he could see the glow of a modest fire and shadows moving inside. He took a breath and knocked. The door opened slowly. A woman in her late 30s appeared, holding a small child bundled in red. Her name was Sarah Bennett, and the exhaustion in her eyes told a story Marcus already knew too well. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice cautious. "I believe this belongs to you," Marcus said, holding out the box. Sarah stared at it, confused. "I think you have the wrong house. Is your daughter's name Emma?" Sarah's face went pale. She pulled the child closer. "How do you know that?" Marcus smiled gently. "May I come in? It's quite cold out here." Sarah hesitated, then stepped aside. The house was small but clean. A tiny Christmas tree sat in the corner with handmade ornaments. The furniture was old but cared for. This was a home built on love rather than money. "Please sit," Sarah said, though her voice remained uncertain. Marcus set the box on the worn coffee table and lowered himself into a chair. He was a tall man in his early 50s with kind eyes that had seen both triumph and tragedy. His expensive coat looked out of place in this humble room. 3 days ago, Marcus began, "My assistant brought me the morning mail at my office." Among the business letters was a small envelope with a child's handwriting. Inside was a letter from your daughter, Emma. Sarah's hand went to her mouth. "Oh, no. I told her we couldn't ask people for help. I told her we would manage somehow. She didn't ask for herself," Marcus said quietly. "She asked for you." He pulled a folded paper from his pocket and read aloud. "Dear rich person, my name is Emma, and I am 7 years old. I am writing to you because my mommy works very hard, but we still don't have enough money. Our landlord says we have to leave our house after Christmas. Mommy cries at night when she thinks I am sleeping. She never buys anything for herself. All I want for Christmas is for my mommy to have a home where she doesn't have to cry anymore. If you have extra money, could you please help us? I promise we are good people. Love, Emma." The room fell silent, except for crackling fire. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I am so sorry," she whispered. "She shouldn't have done that. We don't expect anything from strangers." "She sent it to my company," Marcus continued. "Kane Industries. I started that company 30 years ago with nothing but an idea and determination. I built it into something successful, something that provided jobs and security for hundreds of families. But somewhere along the way, I forgot what it felt like to struggle. I forgot what it meant to choose between paying rent and buying groceries." He paused, his voice growing softer. 5 years ago, I lost my wife Helen to cancer. We never had children. She always said our purpose was to help others build their families and their futures. After she died, I threw myself into work. I stopped seeing people. I stopped feeling things. Until I read your daughter's letter. "I don't understand," Sarah said. "Why are you here?" "Because Emma reminded me of something my wife used to say. She said the measure of a life isn't what you accumulate, but what you give away when it matters most. Your daughter wrote to me not for toys or games, but for something money can't buy. She wanted her mother to stop crying." Marcus stood and walked to the window. Outside, the snow continued to fall, covering the world in white. "I did some research," he said. "I learned that your husband died 2 years ago in a construction accident. I learned that you worked 2 jobs to support Emma. I learned that despite everything you volunteer at the community center teaching other single mothers how to manage their finances. You give what little you have to help others who have even less. We all do what we must," Sarah said quietly. "No." Marcus turned to face her. "Most people do only what benefits themselves. You do what serves others. That's rare. That's precious." He gestured to the red box. "Inside you'll find the deed to this house. I purchased it from your landlord this morning. It's yours now, free and clear. You'll also find a contract offering you a position at Kane Industries as our community outreach director. The salary will be enough to provide security for you and Emma, and there's a college fund set up in Emma's name." Sarah stood abruptly, shaking her head. "I can't accept this. It's too much. You don't even know us. I know enough, Marcus said. I know that a 7-year-old girl loves her mother so much she tried to save her. I know that you taught her kindness in a world that often rewards selfishness. I know that my wife would have loved you both. Tears streamed down Sarah's face. Why would you do this for strangers? Marcus's eyes grew distant. Because 25 years ago, I was where you are now. My company was failing. My wife was pregnant, and we were about to lose everything. A stranger gave me a loan with no expectation of repayment. He said that if I succeeded, I should help someone else the way he helped me. I built my company and became wealthy, but I forgot that promise until Emma's letter arrived. He moved toward the door, then paused. I'm not saving you, Sarah. You've already saved yourself and your daughter through your strength and sacrifice. I'm simply making sure that strength is rewarded instead of punished. Making sure kindness isn't met with hardship. How can I ever thank you? Sarah's voice broke. Teach Emma that the world still has goodness in it. Show her that struggling doesn't mean failing. And someday, when you're able, help someone else who's standing where you stood tonight. That's all the thanks I need. Marcus opened the door. The cold air rushed in, but somehow the room felt warmer than before. Merry Christmas, Sarah. Merry Christmas, Emma. As he walked through the snow toward his car, Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in 5 years. Peace. Purpose. The weight of grief lifting just enough to let in light. Behind him, the door opened again. Little Emma ran out in her red outfit, her small feet crunching in the snow. Mister, she called out, thank you for making my wish come true. Marcus knelt down. You made your own wish come true, Emma. You had the courage to ask for help when your family needed it. That takes more bravery than most adults ever show. Will you come visit us sometime? Emma asked, Mommy makes really good cookies. Marcus laughed, a sound that felt foreign but wonderful. I would like that very much. He stood and walked to his car, knowing that Helen was somehow smiling down at this moment. He had finally kept his promise. He had passed on the kindness that once saved him. The snow continued to fall as he drove away, covering his tracks, but leaving behind something far more permanent than footprints. He had left hope, and sometimes that's the greatest gift anyone can give. Inside the little house, Sarah held her daughter close as they opened the red box together. And for the first time in 2 years, her tears were tears of joy. If this story touched your heart, please share, and subscribe for more tales of hope and kindness. Leave a comment below telling us about a time someone's generosity changed your life. Your story might inspire others to spread kindness in their own communities.